Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Daily Live. It is Monday, the 11th of March. Defeat at the weekend. John was there. John, overriding thoughts.
Crap.
All right, fair play. Let's move on. No, I mean, right, I'll give you my view and then you tell me what your...
Yeah, give me the TV view.
Me looking was just... Here we are again. It's just Groundhog Day. We've had 23 shots, but Man United, only Sheffield United have allowed more shots at their goal than Man United. So it's not like we've done anything spectacular.
They let everyone have lots of
Exactly,
shots.
and they trust the goalkeeper from outside the box. A bit like, I guess, a little bit like what we were like with the likes of Lampard and that.
Yeah.
Shoot from 25 yards, and we've got our goalie who'll save them. If they go in, we look at it in his direction. But it's just toothless up front.
Totally.
And it's not, don't just mean Beto. I mean, the front players are toothless. Decore, I didn't think had a good game.
No, he didn't.
McNeil missed two good opportunities. Jack Harrison, I don't know. Run around.
He's not justified his place for a while. Yeah.
So, I mean, what was your take being in the stadium? Because I didn't think United weren't great, were they?
No, I thought we started quickly, which was good. We convinced ourselves, never mind our fan base, that this lot are a bit wobbly. And then we gift a penalty and not quite fall apart, but whatever lift of confidence they thought they got, we just played straight into United's hand.
Because of the goals, though, John. Sorry, because of the lack of goals. So the minute
of course it does, pressure goes on.
You give a penalty away and you go, that's it.
Pressure goes on.
How do we get 2 goals?
Absolutely, pressure goes on because it's, you start a game at 0-0 and they score. Oh, right. Only 2 of the 3 options are available to us now.
Yeah.
Sort of drawing and losing. Yeah. I thought Tark had a bit of a mare.
Yeah, he was poor Saturday.
But what was frustrating was that they never maintained that fast start, really. And they still have a default for turning, playing backwards, particularly McNeil. Maybe that's more to do. He's got one goddamn leg, I don't know. But it was very frustrating. I thought it was a low-quality game from both sides' perspective. And we just walked straight into, their trap of, we can't break teams down if we have to. So why don't you just overcommit up the field, please? And Rashford, who I thought was very average as well, to the point of being non-existent.
Yeah, he was much at all, did he?
And, and a headless chicken with a load of pace scared us, to death every time he got the ball.
It just showed, it highlighted to me again that if you've got that outlet of pace, it changes things. So, I mean, I watched after it while I was editing, and I watched Crystal Palace and Luton. And Luton are very, of course they are. They're a limited side, but they're all hard working.
Yeah.
The manager has them flying forward. And they've got a bit of pace in wide areas. And although Palace should have put the game to bed. Should have been 4 or 5.
I've not seen it.
That should have been 4. They were all over them.
Right.
But Luton carried that threat. Ross Barkley was excellent carrying the ball. But they're always on the front foot with, in my opinion...
That's coming from the manager.
...limited players. Because
coming from the manager.
But it just shows you with that little bit of pace, Garnacho, who... some people think he's great, others are unsure.
Where are you?
I think the pace makes him... I thought he's a young player, so I'm never going to go in on him.
A lot of money
but he's got the pace. He's got the pace to get in, and he troubles you. And at the end of the day, he won them a penalty. He should have scored a goal himself. He won the 2 penalties, didn't he? Should have scored a goal himself at the far post down your end in the second half. Put it wide.
I mean, we're talking about us, not them, but him as a player. You're right. He has blinding pace. But there's very little product at the end of it. Doku's similar at the moment for City. When they get the ball, they
only say we got 2 penalties from his.
Well, I was going to say the point is, and perhaps Doku's a good example. And Wolves have had players like this. They create uncertainty, almost up to fear levels in the opposition. You got Tarkowski, mature, very experienced defender, waving his leg. Totally against the run of play. Thank you very much. Slot, bang. They also show within the first half that they've got 2 guys who can score penalties, and we struggle to find one who can score penalties, and I just thought it was a very poor quality game, really. You can see why they lose so many games, because they're really not too clever at the back. I mean, probably their best defender was what's his face, the old guy, Evans, yeah.
They have got in. Obviously, they have got in.
And Evans was doing a great job on targeting our set pieces. And as we know, we do very little from open play. Then they just said, let's just defend their set pieces well, and they're not going to create anything. And guess what? That was true, wasn't it?
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah. And I just think the manager, he can't keep playing his percentage game. That says, and he is starting to wobble a bit, isn't he? Because it's not quite call the players out, but he is well into the foothills of it's not me. Yeah, and I'm sorry, but it is as much as anything else. And us as fans having a binary view of is it the players or is it the manager? It's all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You don't give one a let by blaming the other, but the manager's lack of ambition, lack of anything, is just that. I think it puts pressure on the defence to be even better at defending, simply because they know we can't afford to. One goal maybe, 2 goals, game over, and that game was over at half time, and everyone knew it, and they did.
Shouldn't be though, should they?
No, it shouldn't,
because you know that in any game you watch.
Well, it's like for like change. It shows you what he thinks,
No, it's frustrating.
And bringing players on so they can have a round of applause for a club they used to play for. But I couldn't think of any other reason why we bring him on. And I think you guys have just said offline before we come on that commentators on the streams or whatever said that's why they thought he'd done it. That's disgraceful. That's disgraceful. What happens if we go down with 1 goal difference?
I mean, you'd have to prove that was why he done it, but it looked like that, didn't it? Because what was...
Well...
But then listen,
I wonder where Patterson's going then.
Humidity on 88 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, why not put him on for 15? The game is dead.
Yeah.
Why not?
Wonder where Patterson's going to be playing next year. Because if this manager's still there, he's surely off.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's a very subtle approach, isn't it? I'll play anyone except you. Yeah.
I suppose it depends what Coleman and what Ashley Young do, whether they stay for another year, doesn't it? But
Ashley Young,
it depends.
Surely is going to retire because he can't do it. Yeah, unless he just wants to sit on his hands and collect the money. Yeah. So,
well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens.
But
with the club, another owner might have a different view.
Well, another game, another missed opportunity potentially. Yeah.
Are you worried with what's going on with everything else? Because obviously we saw at the weekend, Luton, I was just mentioning them before, they equalised in the 96th minute at Palace. Sheffield United threw a great opportunity away at Bournemouth.
2-0 up,
ends at 2-2. We saw yesterday Burnley do the same at West Ham, 2-0 up and conceding injury time, equalise it. And now, even though I don't think those two teams get anywhere near Everton, even with another points deduction, you still, well, I don't know whether you were, but I'm still looking at them two going, oh my God, they're winning. And it's all of a sudden, even though they're still being behind us, you then start going, we get another points deduction now, and our next 2 games, we've got Bournemouth away, Newcastle away, before we play Burnley at home, and you're like, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Everton lose both of those games. Yeah. And therefore, that's 13 games without a win.
And all these clubs play a game.
Edson, but they're all playing. I mean, Luton play on Wednesday and then they play on Saturday.
They're all playing at least one. Luton are playing 2. And clearly, sorry, answer your question first. Yeah. Even, talking to the missus and Robbie, who's chauffeuring for us, you know what you just said is true.
Just for clarification, Robbie was going the game. He was just driving. He wasn't. He didn't say not with a top hat and tails on. In you go, Mr. Blaine.
He's got a Ford Ranger. Very nice.
Oh, nice.
And a new one. And no, you're right. We know those bottom 2 in particular shouldn't come anywhere near. Let's put it a different way. They're defo getting relegated.
Oh, 100%. In my opinion, 100%.
But you still look for them.
Absolutely.
And you look for Brentford. They're still... in the mire. But you're right. I mean, we could go into our next game at Bournemouth where Luton have lost both theirs. We're above them with a game in hand. Or they've won both theirs. Yeah. and we're behind, aren't we? So, of course, we look around the table, and it's the manager had his moment of saying, "I've banked the points, and the points have been taken off me," but we haven't won points. What was that? 11 games now, so 60 defeats, 5 points out of 33. It's not. Yes, that's relegation.
Yeah. Just seeing it, Drew says no money, no players, and Baz wanted a transfer ban. Did I?
Don't think you did want a transfer ban.
I think I said there could be a transfer ban as a punishment. Tell you what, Drew.
Before the 10 points, we might transfer ban.
We might not have any money. We might not have any money next season anyway. I'm being the champions here.
Yeah.
So if you're asking me, would I have took a transfer ban this year and have the extra 6 points that practically put us? My answer is yes, mate. And if you wouldn't, then that's on you. You do whatever.
And I would say I'm pretty damn sure the football club would have as well.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow. I love it. I love it when people just make mad comments. It's tremendous. Jack, let's bring you in. Where are you with... Not necessarily the game, because I know you're going to be on the final word and we'll get into that properly, but where are you with like the overall thing of like, it's 11 games without a win? To me, it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely... I can't get my head around how a football team can go play 11 times.
Is there a camera on there?
11 times, sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Ned's got it, getting to put it on. 11 matches and not win a game. I honestly, that's the worst record can ever remember. And watching Everton, where are you with everyone else's results as well?
It's difficult with Sean Dyche because no wins in 11 games is a sackable offence at any club in the world, really, isn't it? At the same time, you look at the points tally and where we would be with these 6 points back, and would actually only be 5 points off our entire tally for the whole of last season as well, which it does show that objective improvement, but that's fine. 6 game weeks ago when we're 5 without a win, and you can go, look, it's just a bad patch, we'll ride it out, we'll get there. He is running out of time here, Sean Dyche, with the fan base. I mean, because there's no one at the club to sack him, but the fan base is slowly running out of patience with him, and you can look at the improvements that have been made from last season and the season before that as well, they're there to see, but we're in terrible form right now, and it's okay going, we're only 5 points away from matching our tally from last year, but that means 2 wins, and it's difficult to see where 2 wins come from for this team at the moment. I think Sean Dyche is what he is, and he's a wartime manager, and right now we are very much in that battle. If we were in a position in the summer if we had a bit of a clean slate, a bit of money to spend and that, I'd say, out the door straight away. If we're not going to get that, and you're looking at your options in terms of who's the best to keep us up with nothing to spend, a small squad, just make do with what we've got, naturally Sean Dyche would be at the top of that list. But again, when you look at the form from this period of the season, no wins in 11 games, could potentially go on even longer as well. Who knows what this winless run's going to be in a few weeks? We could be at a point where we're looking at 14 games without a win and no real pressure to sack the manager. So it's concerning, really, isn't it?
I just think when you look at it, you go to you're looking at that Burnley game, then everything goes on that game. Then listen, Everton could easily go to Bournemouth and win. No question about it. They're strong. Well, they've been good away or decent. They've been decent away from home. They could easily go to Bournemouth and Burnley were 2-0 up. If Everton got in a world where they're 2-0 up at Bournemouth, with that, the way we can defend, you'd expect, well, not expect, but there's a world where Everton quite easily overcome that and win the game. And then you go to Newcastle, okay, that'll be a tough one. But if you said to me, would you draw at Bournemouth and draw at Newcastle, or win at Bournemouth and lose at Newcastle, you're going to take the win, aren't you?
I would go for the win.
You're a point up. And then the Burnley game, you're just going, well, okay, we got beat on Tuesday night, it'll be. And we've got Burnley at home. Let's just get this done. Beat these today, and then that'll be 6 points out of 9. We'd be looking and go.
April will sort it all out.
Because of like the thing. Let me just address this as well. Tom Jacobs. Apparently, I tell everyone that we're great and we should be in the top 6.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And therefore,
you say that many times.
Dyche is amazing, according to Tom, and I've got it wrong. So there you go. Very strange, but there you go. Everton apparently, according to Tom, we should be looking for 16. That's us now for a football club. I think that's what Tom's saying.
16?
16. There's like unbelievable open top bus stuff for Tom.
Really?
Well, I don't know, but he's putting words in my mouth.
So you're putting words in his mouth.
Well, what he says is we should be, Dice is basically really good, and 16 should be what we are, so.
Dice is not really
there
good.
You go. Listen, it is what it is, everyone.
But the worrying thing about April, of course, is 3 home games.
Yeah, but if we won all 3...
Job done.
Then the job done, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Could be 4, because the derby could be in there as well.
Yeah, potentially.
Couldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you with the derby? Because just wanted to ask you this, because obviously there's a lot of Dylan. I think he probably is. I read. The derby. I don't think, talking to the Redmen lads in here, they don't want that derby in the second to last game of the season.
They said that as soon as it moved.
They don't want it
later.
I don't think we want it then, do we? Given possible scenarios of where we are or whatever.
I'd rather our last 2 games be Arsenal and Liverpool.
You'd rather that?
Yeah.
Really?
Because we're going to save ourselves before then.
God, I hope so, mate.
You know, imagine we, as you just said, we beat Burnley, and I haven't looked at the dates, and then we play Liverpool at home and they batter us. Your up becomes a down, doesn't it? I'd rather us just go sort April out, get into May, let Arsenal thrash us, beat Liverpool, job done.
Imagine. Well, Liverpool be before Arsenal won.
I'm more worried right now about the break we had under a previous manager before we went to Bournemouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And made no use of it.
I think the scary thing, and listen, you might be right, we might have sorted this all out in April, and it doesn't matter. But I think what some people are fearing is that Liverpool game could put us in real. I think the thing is,
I don't want the Liverpool game to be our last home game. Put it that way.
But I guess the other side to that is
that's what you were fearful of.
Well, that's it, isn't it? If it gets put there, it is our last home game, and it's 4 days before Arsenal away, which we haven't got a very good record at Arsenal at all, have we? On last day of the seasons as well.
We go there flip flops, don't we, sir? Mm. Didn't we do this before and figure out what the most likely date was? There's 2 dates. Yep. Yeah.
22nd of April or the 15th of May.
Yeah.
They're the only 2 dates because Liverpool obviously
the last home game. Yeah.
Yeah, because Liverpool have already got.
Yeah.
Because they're in the trophies and they're already through in the Europa League, aren't they? Because they won the fifth.
You'd favour.
I'd rather than play
Forest at home, Liverpool at home, Brentford at home. It's 3 games on the bounce.
Yeah, but so I get it. That's never ideal. But when you look at it, you could go. If it was like that, we could beat Forest at home, say, and then say we didn't watch Liverpool. Didn't beat Liverpool. It was like they got beat, whatever.
You said, well, we've got Brentford now.
But then you beat Brentford on Saturday. The Liverpool game's out the way, and you've won 2 of your 3 home games in that week.
It.
6 points you move. Yeah, but I don't know. It's different. I just think it's...
But the alternative is you don't play that game.
Oh, yeah,
you beat Forest and you beat Brentford anyway. Mm. And do you want to have the game against Liverpool when there's more on it for them, i.e. it's in the last couple of games?
Don't know.
Well, by which time we should, my words, not yours, have a free hit on it because we'll have already sorted out our status. Can you imagine us going into the last game?
That'd be great.
The last game, we can't be relegated and they have to win.
All right, but look at it this way. From like a...
Half full, half empty game.
From a Merseyside police position... Would you want that game for the play? I wouldn't, because you're looking at it going right now.
You don't want it as Everton's last home game.
Right now, it could be like a relegation battle and trying to win the Premier League.
You don't want it as Everton's last home game either. So that means there's a choice of one date, doesn't it? Mm. So why haven't they named it then?
Because Sky are pushing for it to be game 37 for both clubs. They want it, they're demanding it's game 37 for both clubs.
Which is what I sort of said, yeah. Both teams have got something on it, allegedly, by then.
Mm. So.
But it would work both ways, wouldn't it? That police view. And police have final say, sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, you think so?
Police don't want to be trying to police Liverpool when Liverpool have just relegated Everton, or Everton have just stopped Liverpool winning the league, do they? They don't want either of those policing scenarios. Particularly as Dopey Sky will make it a 5:30 kickoff or something as well.
No, it's a Wednesday, so it's got to be 8.
Is it Wednesday?
It's got to be 8 o'clock. There's no weekend slot, you see, so it'll be 8 o'clock. And would you want everybody? Would you want to be, everybody on the ale and all that?
No.
I mean, it's going to be that no matter what, because
it's their fault. They should have got knocked out of the cup.
Yeah.
But we've got to win those home games. By hook or by crook, we have to win those home games because they're all big point games. Luton and Forest. We hopefully assume and turn out to be right that Forest end up with a bigger deduction than we do this next time around, and we beat them. It's between them and Luton to get relegated, surely.
Got to, haven't we? We've just got to. We all we can do is, all we can do is just keep going, I guess.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it's by the time the season's finished, it'll be half a season, won't it? We carry on not winning. You deserve.
Well, if that carried on, mate. If that carried on, we'd be bloody delegated, wouldn't we?
Yeah, of course we
would. Got to win games, haven't we?
And the joy of joys, if that's not too harsh, right? The only game Forest have got between now and when we play again is against Luton. And we will know the points deduction before we play again.
You see, that game's horrible, Luton and Forest.
Oh, it is.
Because a draw puts Forest level with us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because we're not playing. And Luton obviously they become 3 points behind us then. They're on 21, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right now. So they're 1 win behind us.
Right now, yeah. You could say for Luton, that Forest game is their game in hand.
Now Bournemouth is on Wednesday.
No, I know, but
that'll be so we'll have a game in hand on Luton after. Although our game in hand is Liverpool.
So again, going with your logic, right? Luton win that game in hand.
Yeah.
By and I don't know where they are on goals scored. They could go into the Forest game above Forest, couldn't they? Because they'd be level on points, so they could be above them, and that becomes an absolute shootout, doesn't it?
So is a draw the best result?
Yeah. That'd be all three of us on 25. Wow. With Forest to get a points deduction.
No, because Luton are only on 21.
If they win their game.
No, if they win their game.
Oh, if they win at Bournemouth.
And then they draw with Forest.
Oh, God, don't.
Yeah. But Forest are going to find out this week, aren't they?
Apparently so, yeah. Wasn't it concluded on Friday? Forest?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a week, isn't it, under the new fast-tracking thing? So, for a decision. Are they really going to announce on Friday that Forest have got a points deduction to play the day after? Scary. Well done, Premier League. Yeah.
I mean, Jack, what are you like? Luton v Forest at the weekend. I mean, what are you? Can only be a draw, surely.
Yeah, I think Forest are the main team we're contending with at this point, just because of the points deduction nonsense, which, again, just speaks about the negativity this system's brought to the Premier League, because, there's a relegation fight going on with, potentially up to 4 teams involved, but a lot of it's not going to be decided by what goes on the pitch. But yeah, if they get a draw there and Forest get it with 6 points, I think that puts them on 19, which gives us quite a healthy gap to them. Just checking the league table here. Assuming we avoid any further points deduction or maybe get hit with a maximum of 2, that leaves Forest a 6 point gap to try and build up on us, with us having some hopefully winnable games in the near future.
One of them against them?
Yeah, which is a big one as well. And then if you can bring that gap to 8 and 9 points as well, then it doesn't matter when that Liverpool game is, because we could have it done and settled before we get to the last 3 games of the season, which is the dream, hoping to avoid the last stress for once.
We could hope that Burnley win at home against Brentford as well. Burnley would still be 5 points behind us then. Yeah, crazy this, isn't it? No, more than 5. But
aren't they trying to shoot the Premier League?
Who, Burnley? Have they given up trying to sue us, have they?
But they're trying to sue the Premier League, aren't they? Allegedly. It's allegedly, but I mean...
Well, that's what rumours come when suddenly someone realises the 28 days have gone and no one sued Everton.
Yeah.
Must be suing somebody else. Yeah. It's madness.
Ian, I don't think I'm living on blind faith, am I? And hope. 'Cause I've literally just said we're 11 games without a win.
Yeah. Shocking.
I think living on hope would be me saying we'll be all right, we'll win these games. Everton could quite easily win the 4 home games. Brentford, Forest, Burnley and Sheffield United. They could quite easily win all 4 of them.
What are we worrying about then?
Yeah, but they couldn't they? Yeah. That's not living on faith. Do I actually believe that that's what will happen?
Well, double our wins at home.
That's what,
in the last 3 or 4 games, yeah, or 4 or 5 games. Whatever.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. God knows, because I don't think anyone can say one way or the other. Right now, we are. Put it this way: if there was any other team we were talking about,
we'd be saying
that were Everton, you'd be saying they're on the way down because they can't.
They're the one who just drops and drops and
always drops like a stone.
Yeah,
always drop like a stone, and it seems like you can't arrest the slide.
Yeah,
and that looks like Everton right now.
It does.
So I don't know how I look at it and I go, the manager's not coming up with a plan to arrest that. The players can't kick a ball straight, it looks like right now.
Well, if this was another team in the league with this former manager, would be saying that team doesn't know how to win.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he would, wouldn't he? He would, and when that was put to him at the weekend, he didn't like it, did he? But right now, that's how it looks, isn't it?
His answer about why he's playing Godfrey at right back that he gave Joe Thomas sounds like he didn't know the reason to me.
I couldn't watch it at the weekend.
The answer seems to be, well, it's not about one player. Some players have done enough over a long period of time to be in the team. Others have been injured and others have been up and down. No names anyone. It just sounded like a man who doesn't know, and I think you did it on the show you were doing before, which will be out, I guess, whenever, where you were talking about he just seems to stick with some players. Godfrey's gone into the team, and unless he has an absolute mare, he's going to stay there, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And that leaves Patterson as a spare part. 2 right backs on the bench, and you bring Ashley Young on. I think, really?
It is.
He must have get some minutes because he's told them he's going to retire, and then he'll get a big wave off.
I think
you can't go, Seamus, if we get relegated, mate. No way. Can't go then.
It is horrible. It's horrible, isn't it? Because you look at it and say, we can't get out of this.
How many games have you watched? Because I go all of them because I do the away ones. And we were talking about this in the car, thinking, when did we last... Just think of away games, forget home ones. Walked away thinking, better team beat us today.
City.
Yeah.
The other week.
Very few. And it might be a few right down to 1 type of thing. Better team. Or even worse, we deserve to lose today, right? So then you can add Villa, and you can add
Villa
Wolves,
destroyed us, Wolves destroyed us, yeah.
But other than that, it's all about missed opportunity. It's all about not being brave. And for the manager to say you need to put your body in where it hurts and all that rubbish, I don't know where he's coming from there. Maybe he should try doing the management version of that, being a bit bolder, a bit braver. But he's left it so late now. He has to stay with his policy of keep it tight and hope you get that 1 goal or that makes a difference.
They've got to hope. There's no game.
He can't suddenly become expansive with a few games to go, can he?
No, I think just right now, what can we do? They're away for going to Portugal or something, aren't they, on a break?
Well, yeah. So, fan media tell us that, yeah.
They have to sort of go and do, I don't know, refresh it all.
Well, they're going to get time off. And then they're going to go...
Well, like Dylan says, the real bravery in football is getting on the ball, not slide tackles. Yeah, and it is.
It is.
And I still...
And that's what Luton are showing. If you are prepared to show commitment, and okay, they've got a bit more pace perhaps than we've got, and they've certainly got a guy in midfield, we'd have, yeah? But even so, you wouldn't, Ross excluded, take any of their team, would you? Maybe one.
I'd have Ogbenny on the right because he's quick. He's not amazing, but he's quick.
But yeah, okay, so 2 of them.
And Doty, the left side is good.
So maybe 3 out of 11, you know? But they always look like they're in a game. They've come back so many times from being deep in the mire. Okay, they've flipped it and gone the other way. But the managers should get credit for that.
Yeah, he's done brilliantly. Yeah. The whole club's done brilliantly. The owner, you know, they only spend 60% of their income on players and wages and he won't go above it. So they don't get players because he sticks with it. Yeah. Whether you like that or not, at least the club's on a sound footing. And they've done
up through the leagues.
They've done a great job. So you've just got to go, okay. You know, and this is what we need to do. But we can't seem to move forward right now because we're still in this hole, aren't we? We still don't know what's happening with the owner and all of this. So we're just everything just seems.
At all.
No,
once
but
the transfer
it is
closed, and it's been closed for a month.
Yeah, of course.
You know what you've got. It's on the players and it's on the manager. If the manager picks the wrong style of play for the players that he's got, then you're in stuck. Right, because they lose them and they'll shrug. We've got at least a couple of players who can play their own game because they know full well they're way above the standard we are at the moment in Onana and Branthwaite, and both of them could go in the summer potentially.
He didn't do enough. I don't think he did. Branthwaite was all right. Onana,
no, he didn't do enough.
That one that Garner shot and the keeper pushed out to him. It amazes me how you can't hit the target.
Who know that they can play their game. Yeah.
You're right, I'd have Adebayo as well. And Solace, I watched the game.
You went your way through till you got all 11.
No, but you would have Adebayo because he's a handful. As a striker, he's aggressive, he can run. He's not a great goal scorer, but he gets goals. Solace, they did. Palace with the better side, but what did they do? They hung in there and they got themselves a draw, didn't they? Doesn't mean Everton can't. We can beat them, of course we can. Sheffield United went there and battered them. They battered them. So, and you're right, Dylan. Liverpool are full of brave footballers. They are, whether you like them or not. The kids are brave. They all want the ball. They all go and have a go. And that's because the manager, for them, is in their ear. It's confidence, pushing them forward, driving them on, driving them forward. That's what he does. And if he come into Everton, and of course you never get them, you wouldn't get him, but if he come into Everton, he would make this team better. He just would by his nature because he's a better manager than Sean Dyche. That's the way it is.
Managers make a difference. Only good ones make a difference.
At the play, but again, don't confuse this with like this is all Sean Dyche's fault because it isn't. Them players play the game. And if you looked at them and watched them train, or you'd go, well, yeah, they're not bad. You know, and there's been times when they've looked like a good side. So what's going on now?
There's moments in games when,
but they can't. Okay. None of them can shoot straight, and I just don't believe that they're professional footballers. But yeah, it's a flip of a coin, mate. Because I actually think McNeil's worse than him at the moment. Than Harrison. So there's an argument for dropping both of them.
Only one of them should play. Maximum,
and therefore,
at the moment.
You know what I'd do, seriously,
left,
right?
Whoever it is.
I'd play, right now,
McNeil inside.
I'd play 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Right now. I'd change it, because this is not working in the slightest, right? I would play 3-5-2, and I'd pick, Mykolenko either plays your left centre-back, or he plays the left wing-back. If Mykolenko plays left centre-back, then it's Harrison or McNeil as the left wing-back. On the right, I'd have Coleman or Patterson.
I agree.
So you do what you do. If it's Godfrey as one of the centre-backs, fine, got the pace. I'd have Decore, Onana and James Garner or Idrissa Gana-Gueye. They battle for the 3 in midfield. Sure. And I'd have Beto and Dom up front. And then Schmidt would replace one of them. And I'd try to play a little bit higher up the pitch.
I agree.
And because if you do that, I'm not a lover of 3-5-2. But what we're doing right now, neither winger is scoring, creating. They're not doing enough. And
don't carry both of them.
Our centre forward is always isolated. The core at the weekend was dreadful. Just couldn't get into the game at all. And when he got on the ball, it's always like he doesn't know how to pass the ball.
Bit Bambi legs, isn't he?
So he'll give it away when it's a simple pass. But if you have him in midfield doing that covering, and then he breaks into the box. Because right now, when I look at it, I still think we could be structurally strong with 3 at the back right now.
Particularly as if you've indicated 2 fullbacks playing as the wing backs.
Well, if they play high up and you've got 3 centre backs.
That's right.
And then you've got Onana in front. You've always got 4. And I keep saying it, no one gets overrun with 4 defenders back. Nobody. Right? Then that way, you'd still be committing 6 players forward, but you'd have 2 strikers that have an option with them. The core breaking into the box, and your 2 fullback or your wing backs higher up the pitch. You're getting bodies in and around the box. I'd rather have 2 strikers on. Why would you, a team that cannot score a goal for love nor money, why would you reduce the chances of scoring a goal by having 1 striker instead of 2?
An isolated one at that, yeah.
You know, and that to me, the manager went, right, this is what I'm doing. I'd go, fair play to you. You know what? You're trying everything. But I don't think he is trying everything. He's just going, it's 4-4-1-1. And when it isn't working, I take the one off and I put the other lad on. And I leave him isolated.
He's committed to his structure, yeah.
I leave him isolated and we don't create any chances from, and then we do the same with the next fella. And then I take a winger off who's not doing well, maybe, and I give Lewis Dobbin 3 minutes at the end.
I'll go 2 up top for the last 2 minutes, yeah.
And then, when the last seconds, I'll put that. To me, isn't doing. You're too rigid. Now, I'd like to just see if we can do something.
Back to the weekend, the changes should have happened at half time as well.
Yeah,
they were having a conference in the technical box about what to do.
You see, if you've got,
and it was clear that the conclusion was, well, we'll do something on the hour.
See, if you've got, if you've got a Dominic Calvert-Lewin, say for argument's sake, if he's the striker, right?
As a starter, you mean?
As a starter. So you're going, right, we've got Dom, and then you had 2 wide forwards, but both had the record of getting your goals or were quick. Then it's not too bad. You can keep the rest of the structure because you've still got 3 midfielders central, and you've got a good shape about you. The problem I see when I watch Everton is we haven't got anyone who gets near. Dwight McNeil always wants to go back, always, unless he gets a little bit of time on the ball and then he just throws. I mean, he was crossing again on Saturday from a diagonal. I don't know what he wants, what he thinks is going to happen when you're crossing diagonally into a penalty area.
He's faster with the ball than with
it. Right. Jack Harrison is working his socks off and doesn't create any, runs around his own and keeps coming back inside.
Ball retention's
Lad, just chop it like Andros Townsend does with your right foot. Put it in, because you're creating your half a yard to then come back inside. So we're losing any effectiveness there.
His ball retention's dire.
So neither winger is scoring or creating, really. They're not.
Don't carry both
They're not
of them.
taking you up the pitch.
Don't carry
pace.
both of them. Yeah.
So we can't do it. I'm isolating Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So I would
take Dwight out, and that allows you to put Harrison on that side.
And then if Harrison doesn't do it, take him off and put McNeil.
Well, there's your easy swap off the bench, isn't it?
I'd just do something different. I'd just do something different because we just keep doing what we're doing and hoping it's going to change, and it's not going to change at the moment because it hasn't changed in 11 games. So if you try something else, then you go, right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, because I don't see us any other way it can change with what we're doing.
Need to book a hotel for Bournemouth, I think.
We're at the point with this team now that in this system it's not going to be changed by any one individual, and that's why the better towards our argument, it's an argument you can make, but ultimately neither of those 2 strikers are going to change our season on their own. It's because the personnel's not good enough for one individual to change it, and the system isn't good enough either. So that's why if you were to change to maybe a 3-5-2, and then you've also got Dan Juma once he's back, maybe bring into the fold as one of your forwards, and say you've got Harrison for argument's sake as that left wing back. If he pushes up and becomes your left winger, maybe Dan Juma goes wide, then you've got your front 3, but you can change your shape with and without the ball and actually make a few different passages of play, because at the moment very predictable. We've just been looking at some of the stats on SofaScore for the game, and in terms of touches and shots and passes, it's all quite competitive. But you look at the quality of chance we make. We miss a lot of chances, but I don't think we miss loads of brilliant chances. I just think we miss a load of decent to all right chances over the course of the game. A, because we can't make chances better than that on a regular basis, and B, because most teams will take at least one of those chances over the course of a game. We never score a goal where you're like, oh, he's done well there, it's a difficult angle, it was a good finish. That we never score from outside the box. Everything has to be on a plate, and when it is on a plate, we don't convert often enough anyway.
I just think you'd try something different, because why wouldn't you? Martin says, another typical Everton performance, never give you any joy or a shock win. Exactly how we all felt it. Go and be the same the next game. Terrible players. Fifth for the championship. Bainey says, afternoon boyos, why is being an Everton fan so difficult? Apologise to the missus for making her a fan after that match. And yet this morning I was purchasing tickets. Why do we do these things? Adam says, I watched the highlights of other games this weekend and I've never seen so many fluke goals and mistakes leading to goals in my life. Why don't we score these type of goals? It can't just be bad luck. Yeah. I don't know. Do we put the same pressure on people that others do? I don't know.
No.
And that's probably why, isn't it? Everton Viking says, find it funny his defenders, Sean Dyke's defenders, say he's not the one missing chances. Such a weak argument. We haven't won in 12, one win in 14, isn't it? As for that dumb argument, if he isn't the one missing chances, he also isn't the one doing all the good things you said he did then. He isn't the one defending, he doesn't kick a ball. So according to that logic, for Dyke's defenders, all the good stuff we have done this season is because he is a miracle worker, but all the bad stuff is the players. You can't have your cake and eat it. He's the one managing them, trains them, plans the tactics and chooses the players. He's absolutely garbage. The players aren't great, but they aren't coached very well either. It is hard to... You can't say all the good things are because of him and the bad things are nothing to do with him, can you? That's a fact.
Absolutely. And as we know from speaking to ex-players and current players over there on that sofa, players do what the manager tells them to do, even if they... in their heart of hearts, no, it's not the best way. Until you have a full-on rebellion, which is the classic lost the dressing room, you don't get any dissent at all. They're just focusing as individuals on getting selected, aren't they? That's what they want. They want to be picked.
Roy Vernon says, I would only keep him on if we got relegated. He's a championship manager. If by some miracle we do stay up, it won't be because of him. It'll be down to the points deduction of Forest and other poor teams.
Quite possibly.
I agree with Baz. We need to get the pace of Dobbin and Chimity in the side. Too laboured with Harrison and McNeil. James Wallen says the minus 17 XG paying us back. I think after 3 wins in a week, we agreed we should be aiming for 50 points without any points deduction. Now I'm looking if we can get 40. The drop-off since November has been awful.
Horrific. Any
other manager in this position would be gone. Let's have it. In the balance of fairness, it was mid-December that we won our last game. So it's been from then, hasn't it? The Fulham game on in the Cup really has been the drop-off, hasn't it? Rob says, when are you guys going to say Dyche has to go? You wanted Frank out for less. Did I?
Which guys?
But Jay said, me and you. Jay Ratcliffe says, Baz didn't ever want Frank out. The position broke Frank. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
Didn't also ever want Marco Silva out, but hey ho, there you go. David Green says Luton Forest. Harry says, if you had a quid for every time Everton ruined, in my weekend, I'd have Richard Masters after me for a 10-point deduction. Sazul said, hi guys, I did say the other day we didn't have the bottle or mentality to win at Old Trafford. John scoffed. I should have known better. We just don't win at these grounds. In fact, we don't win any. I think you were saying, we've got to have some hope because otherwise what's the point? Which is fine.
Yeah.
But I think people are just looking at the reality and going, we don't ever win this, or why would this weekend be any different? Yeah. But the flip side of that is sometimes it does happen, doesn't it?
I never go to watch Everton away to see us lose.
Of course, yeah.
Most of the time we do.
Kane says, I don't even know if I feel confident of us staying up anymore with our record against lesser opposition at Goodison. Those type of teams will sit and let us have the ball, and that works against us.
That's true.
Yeah. And he says, people saying the performance was okay on Saturday. We looked like we had the ball because United led us to hit us on the counter. Simple tactics. It happened last year too with the same result. United know we can't do anything with the ball, and they didn't have to do much on Saturday and win. Andrew says...
So many people thought we played well, particularly in the first half.
When they beat us it's only last season, wasn't it, God? When they beat us 3-1 in the Cup at Old Trafford last season, when Frank was the manager, we had loads of the ball. We had loads of shots. We got beat 3-1 because they let us have the ball. Go ahead. We'll just pick it off.
Which is what you should do. If
and they're not even a great side, United, had
they're not.
Andrew,
got some good players, but they're a poor team.
We've got match winners, but they're not a good side. Yeah. And they had 9 players missing as well out the squad. So, Andrew says, poorly coached players make poor decisions on the pitch. Dyche has to go with his whole style. Dyche has to go. His whole style revolves around being defensively strong. We're not even that anymore. In the last 6 games, we're conceding near enough 2 goals a game on average. I've no doubt Dyche takes us down this season. Jonathan says Dyche needs to go. He's clueless. A new manager can't do any worse. Surely Tate or Baines would get a tune out of them better than this. Jay says a name if Dyche was to leave would be Rob Edwards. Young, enthusiastic, and seems to get players on his side. Moyes is my choice. Jay says also I wasn't raging with them on Saturday, but oh my God, the finishing. Yeah, well that's it. I don't think anyone. I wasn't. But the problem was, I almost just felt resigned to it, though.
I'm worn down, mate.
I was a bit like, yeah, we had loads of shots, but we've lost. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Benjamin says, had to go to doctors today for results on a test. She said my blood pressure was high. I said, I support Everton. And she said, what does that mean? I said, the crap, they could get relegated. She was nonplussed about it. Hopefully we'll be okay, and then in the summer I can relax and watch France win the Euros, and then next season Everton can stop hammering me. It's sad, isn't it? Because that's all. We're not even asking for Everton to be fighting for Europe. We just want them to at least just be comfortable in mid-table where you're not terrified of what every result means.
Said earlier on, I'll paraphrase Jack, if it wasn't for the points deduction, we'd be comfortably mid-table. Despite, the appalling last 10, 11 games, we'd be sitting here screaming, we've blown Europe, wouldn't we?
No,
I understand what he means.
No, I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm saying we should be sat here thinking...
Would be 14th, not pushing for Europe, but yeah.
Yeah, saying if we just picked up some wins, because it's wins.
We will be. I think we will be fuming a bit, though, because,
we would when you look around us, yeah.
I think
I'm getting to the points are irrelevant. It's the poor performances that are doing us. Yeah.
No matter what happens, right? We've gone 11 games without winning a game of football. I mean. And in my belief is no Everton manager should ever have a record like that on their CV, ever. No matter even if it was Pep Guardiola.
No, I agree.
Good. 11 games of football without winning. And we can talk about big chances and we've missed big and the XG and we're underperforming. That's all great, but it doesn't matter because every manager, Frank Lampard,
11,
could sit there opposite
5,
me,
lost 6,
and I could say to Frank, well, you won 1 game in 13 or something when you got sacked, and he'd go, yeah, fair comment. However, look at this game and look at this game and look at the Wolves game, which was utterly depressing.
Every club can do that, can't they?
The Wolves game, which was utterly depressing on Boxing Day, we were 1-0 up. And Anthony Gordon had the goalie laying on the floor at your end, the park end, and the whole goal to shoot at, and he hit it straight at the... And if he dinks it over the keeper, it's 2-0, and it's game over. Southampton at home, we could have put the game to bed in the first half. It was just so one-way traffic.
Wasn't it just, yeah?
And Ward-Prowse come out and scored 2, and we got beat 2-1. So any manager can sit here and go, we missed chances, though. And if those chances would have got... Every manager's like that, because ultimately, unless you are Sheffield United...
Where you've been getting battered
where you're getting done 5 and 6-0 at home every week, you put your hand up and go, yeah, we're just not good enough because we haven't spent the money to get the quality of player. Rafa Benitez could sit here and go, if that game had gone right and if we would have scored that, I'd still be the Everton manager. If Marco Silva, because Everton had a lot of games that they dominated under Silva and couldn't score, he would turn around and go, just needed something to turn our way, and we'd have been not at Jerome when he got, like, effectively, that was the game that killed him. We got beat 2-0. We had about 28 shots. Oh, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but we had a lot of attempts in that game. If we'd have won that game with a lucky deflection, Marco Silva might have been, you know what I mean? We can all look back and go,
ifs, buts.
Unlucky there. We just missed a lot of chances.
And if any of those managers had got lucky,
they'd still be able, wouldn't they?
And therefore we wouldn't have paid them off, and we probably wouldn't have failed PSL.
David Murphy, yeah, exactly, on the super chat.
So we would have had the 10 points anyway.
Says
whatever, you know.
David Murphy, super chat. Thank you very much. Tactics, play, style, awful manager, and awful players. And it's
in that order, probably.
And it's difficult to argue right now because we've gone 11 games without a win, so something has to change, and we've just got to get on with it. Listen, they're going away to Portugal. They're going to have to come up with something fresh, and then we're going to have to come back and have a right good go. Right, Dylan, you're the last one and we're finished. It's not football. I haven't yet. What is it on?
Which?
Basically, Dylan says, have you watched Shogun yet? I haven't. It's on my list to watch, but I haven't watched it yet. I want to know if you have. It's fantastic. What's it on, Ped? On Disney? Right, okay, I've got Disney, that's fine. Right, okay, it's supposed to be brilliant, John. I haven't watched it yet.
I've started watching The Gentleman.
Look, yeah, it's on my list, as Kin is as well. Kin's supposed to be very good as well. And Tim on the super chat. Right, Tim, you are definitely the last one. Well, I mean, if you want to carry on talking about footy, we're going to be live on More Than a Game at 2:15, me and Jack, so there you go. Tim says we need a 10. We need Ali. No creativity. I know, but I don't, thanks to the Blues. Listen, I've gone past thinking, Delhi might make it.
He's forgotten. Forgotten man.
Who knows? We haven't got a 10 in the club, have we, as we proved when the Corey was out, so we can't really do anything about that now, which is why I'm saying maybe we just play a different way and see if that gets us any kind of results, creates more chances, gets, Dom next to the Beto and see if they can cause a bit of chaos for some games, not just do what we do where no one gets forward and we just hit straight balls and go, it didn't work, that did it? Get people in wide, get people breaking. Just got to try something, haven't we? Because just keep going 4-4-1-1. Let's see if that works this week.
Doesn't.
I don't think it's going to, because everyone knows what to expect from us as well. So,
it hasn't worked for over 1,000 minutes. So.
No. Listen, just to reiterate, right, Everton, in my opinion, should have enough quality to finish safely in the Premier League. Now, safely might be 5 points ahead of
whoever's third
bottom, right? And just in case Tom's watching, that doesn't mean Everton should be in the top 6. A club of Everton's stature moving forward should absolutely be aiming to get in the top 6. And if you don't think so because you're a Red or you're a whoever, that's embarrassing if you look at a club at Everton's size and don't think they should be trying to get in the top 6. Will he get there? Who knows? They might never get there again, but they should be striving.
Clubs like Man United and Newcastle, they should be striving to get in the top 6.
Of course they should. Chelsea.
Chelsea is another one, yeah.
But there you go. Sola says Benitez and Lampard had much more options in attack, though, to be fair. They actually didn't. Frank didn't have a centre forward to call his own.
He's injured.
And Benitez lost both Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison for periods and had one or the other. If you look, Dice has had 6 options to play in that final third this season. Danjuma, Harrison, McNeil, Schmidt, Beto, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's had them all season.
More. Yeah. Stick
Dobbin. 7. I think if you look at Benitez and Lampard, he didn't.
All players he's used. Yeah.
But Fazer, last one, I think we wouldn't be where we are if Ancelotti had stayed, even though it would have been difficult because we still wouldn't have been able to spend money. But let's be honest, he's a better coach than anyone who's followed him, isn't he? By some distance. So, right, like I say, stay where you're at. We'll be back in 5 minutes. See you in a bit.